Why discipline outruns motivation? You have probably seen the phrase floating all around the internet, but most people don't really understand the secret rhythm of success behind it. Let me break it down. Everyone admires disciplined people. They love to work with them. But on the other hand, undisciplined people complain that discipline is too strict, too hard, too much. Here is the beautiful fact I want to announce to you today. No one, I repeat, no one can ever be successful without discipline. Billionaires are not fueled by motivation, they are fueled by discipline. Motivation fades, discipline stays. Now let's go into it. When you get to a teaching, a seminar, or a podcast like Reichtum Revolution, you get connected to every word. They lift your spirit, they shake your body, and sometimes you even feel sad about how far you've missed in life. In that moment, it feels like your whole life is about to change. But here is the truth. Everything you learn in that room begins to die the moment you walked out. For some, it died instantly. For others, it died within 24 hours. Why? Because motivation is not enough. Motivation makes you feel, but discipline makes you decide. You might feel lifted, you might feel inspired, but if you don't make the decision and build the habit, nothing stays. Motivation is the spark, but discipline is the firewood that keeps the flame alive. It is the daily action, the repetition, the pain you endure, and the discomfort you refuse to run from. Discipline is the point where success begins. There was a boy who noticed how strong and built his friends had become. He asked them how they did it. He told him, "We work out every morning at 5 a.m. to 6:30. Excited, he decided to join them. On the first day, he was the first to arrive at the gym. When others did 10 push-ups, he did 50. On day 2, he showed up again at 5 a.m. On day 3, he even challenged other guys to a push-up contest. They both did 50, but he lost. By the next day, he was already feeling it. Thought of cutting his sleep again was too much, and just like that, he stopped. Why? Because he wasn't disciplined, he was only motivated. See, success is not about how hard you go for a short time. It's not about burning yourself out in 1 week. Success is about the small action repeated over a long time. His friends weren't doing anything extreme. They had simply been doing a few things consistently for months and years. That's the real secret of success. So now let's lock this story to the clarity plus discipline section. 1. The motivation trap. He started strong, driven by excitement and comparison. Motivation makes him overdo it, arriving early, doing extra push-ups, trying to compete, but that fire fades quickly because motivation is temporary. The real secret, the reason his friends looked strong was not because they trained like beasts in 1 week, but because they stayed consistent with small repeated action over a long period. 3. The crash. The day he chose comfort over the workout was the real test. That's where the difference between discipline and motivation showed. He hadn't built the inner system. Clarity plus decision plus consistency, so he fell off the lesson. The discipline is not about starting strong, it's about staying consistent even when it's boring, painful, or uncomfortable. Motivation makes you start, discipline makes you stay. If you're driving only by the result of something and you jump into the process without first understanding it deeply, you will not last in the game. Why? Because what you are chasing is someone else's fruit, not their process. What you see in others, the body, the success, the wealth, is the visible outcome of years of discipline, sacrifice, and consistency. But if you focus only on the fruit, when your own growth doesn't proceed instant results, frustration will kill your commitment. That's why so many people quit early. But if you focus on only the fruit, when your own growth doesn't produce instant results, frustration will kill your commitment. That's why so many people quit early. They wanted the reward, not the routine. They wanted outcome, not the process. But the true discipline is born in the process, hidden the respective work that nobody celebrates. Sometimes it's not even the result that motivates people. It's just the sight of process. You see others showing up every day, being consistent, doing their routine, and suddenly they feel guilty. I'm not serious with my life. I think I should also do something. They copy quit the process not because of clarity, not because of discipline, but because of pressure or comparison. It's like seriousness, but it's really just borrowed motivation. Problem with motivation is it fades, it burns out as quick as it lights up. When the hype dies, so does the action. That's why so many start strong but don't last. They were copying consistency without building discipline. You know, I once sat with a friend. Every time he saw others making moves, he would suddenly get charged. He did say, bro, I'm ready now, I'm going all in. But the moment that little spark of motivation wore off, he slowed down. He go back to his old ways and wait until the next wave of inspiration hits him. See, that's what happens when you live off motivation. It makes you a slave to feeling. You move when you feel it and you stop when you don't. And the truth is, if you are always waiting to feel ready, you will spend your whole life waiting. So I work with him on something deeper. We dug into his purpose, build a drive, and create a clear plan for where he actually wants to go. Because here is the thing, clarity creates direction. When you don't know what you want, you will just copy others. But when you are clear, you finally have your own road to walk. But let me tell you the truth, even with clarity you can still get trapped, because clarity will tell you what you want and why you want it, but it won't execute for you. If you still depend on motivation to move, you will waste your clarity. This is where discipline comes in. Motivation is like lighter fluid. It burns hot, but it burns out fast. Discipline is the wood that keeps the fire alive. It's what makes you show up whether you feel like it or not. So if you're listening to this right now, I want you to catch this. Clarity without discipline is waste potential. Motivation may start the engine, but discipline is what keeps the car moving when the fuel tank feel empty. Listen, you've got to break this thing down. Success isn't about those big flashing moves you make once in a while when you feel hyped. No, it's about the little things, the small action you repeat over and over until they end up into something great. That's how you break the trap of motivation. Motivation will give you a spark, but discipline keeps the fire burning. You have got to get to that track where you do it even when you're not ready, even when you feel weak, even when you are uncomfortable. Because real discipline shows up when you keep moving on the days you don't feel like it. When you're happy, keep going. When you're sad, keep going. When you're strong, keep going. When you're weak, keep going. That's how you build consistency. That's how you win. Not by waiting on motivation, but by living in discipline. So here is the truth. Motivation will start you, but discipline will finish you. And if you want to win in this life, you have got to choose discipline every single day. Do the little things, stack them up, and watch how your life transforms. Now, if today's episode spoke to you, don't just keep it to yourself. Hit that subscribe button, follow the show, and share this with somebody who needs to hear it. Because sometimes all someone needs is one voice to shift their mindset. And remember, don't wait for motivation. Create discipline. That's how you rise. That's how you win. I am Samuel Olubode. Welcome to Reichtum Revolution.